reach out to Congress during August recess in the hopes of leading to a change. From the Interactive Center, Jessica Schmidt, 14 News.
Tonight on 14 News at 10. They may be 90 years old, but some World War II veterans from the tri-state recently had a chance to fly a mission. Last Friday, reporter Aaron Meyer traveled just outside of Chicago, Illinois with 4 World War II vets. The men were pilots or they worked on planes during the war. Well, they ended up flying back to Evansville in the only B-24 bomber that still flies. It was quite an experience for them, and for some, it was emotional.
Seeing other people that have been in the service also, and seeing Air Force planes, planes that meant a lot to our country.
I'm patriotic. I just believe this is the best country in the world, and there just shouldn't be anybody that doesn't appreciate it.
Well, we do appreciate your service. Thank you, gentlemen. These men are very humble despite the sacrifices they made for our country. Tonight at 10, hear more about what that B-24 flight was like, and these veterans will share some memories that have stayed with them for nearly 70 years. Still ahead, the new Hopkins County Superintendent had her first day on the job. We're going to take
there at noon on Thursday. It starts Wednesday, but it continues through the weekend, and temps will be in the 80s for that. And then the rest of the week, we see temps in the 80s with lows in the 60s.
Well, these flyboys are old men now, but they are on cloud 9 again after a sentimental journey.
That's right. 4 tri-state veterans of World War II have one more memory to share. Aaron Meyer here to tell us about their latest mission.
Oh, it was one I know I will never forget. I bet they won't either. Last Friday morning, those veterans, along with family members and a few others, hopped a plane from Tri-State Aero to Kankakee, Illinois, which is outside of Chicago. Their trip back to town was part of something called the Wings of Freedom Tour. Here's just some of what I learned about these brave men.
They're known as the greatest generation.
I was 18 when I enlisted.
Men now close to 90 who fought in a war that changed the world.
Got shot at a lot.
And changed them, too.
It was just a real serious time for me.
Raymond Shurek is one of those men. The combat pilot flew 89 missions in France and Germany.
We knew the area over there just about better than we knew the United States.
Still, this silk map, part of Raymond's escape kit, came in handy. In March 1945, his plane was shot down. Instead of bailing out, Raymond decided to land, wheels up, without a seatbelt, in a German field.
Normally, I'm about the worst guy at landing in the squadron. My landings are terrible. But I knew I had only one chance at this. And I just slid it in as slick as a whistle.
But he was still in enemy territory. So Raymond waited until dark, then walked 10 miles to safety. That silk map with him all the while.
For that reason, it means quite a bit to me.
And so does this picture.
When I got this one, it was brand new. Never been in combat before.
It's one of the few Raymond has of his P-47, dirty red, in the air. Here's his explanation of that colorful name.
One of the fellas said since I was from Kentucky, I didn't take enough showers. And he thought I had red hair also, so he nicknamed me Dirty Red. It was a tough plane. It could take a lot of punishment and still bring the pilot home.
And after 9 months, Raymond did come home. He married his sweetheart, they moved to Owensboro, and he became a pharmacist. But it's the ones who weren't as lucky that make this fighter pilot fight back tears.
I lost some friends.
We were a family.
Death, of course, is part of war. Captain Walter Sutton, now 91 years old, took the danger in stride.
I flew 43 missions. Once or twice I thought I was a goner, but I still wasn't afraid.
Walter joined the Army right after Pearl Harbor.
This is the way I looked back then. I must have had shorter hair or something because this doesn't fit good anymore.
As a young squadron bombardier, Italy was home base, though most days were spent on B-24s.
This is over the Alps. We had to cross the Alps almost every time we flew.
And during those trips, Walter told me he'd bring a small comfort of home to help pass the time.
My folks used to send me funny books, and I'd take 2 or 3 funny books on a mission and read them until we got to altitude.
70 years later, there are no funny books, but Walter Sutton is once again about to board a B-24, the only B-24 still flying today.
Happy, excited, and I just can't believe this is happening to me.
This one final mission, a 200-mile ride from Kankakee, Illinois, back to Evansville, is happening thanks to the Collings Foundation. For 24 years, they've been flying World War II planes from city to city, honoring veterans across the country.
These guys are heroes. I don't care how many times we see them, they're heroes. We're not going to have them around very much longer, and we want to make sure their memory is always with us, through the aircraft, through their stories, and for future generations.
They may not be quite as nimble now, but that didn't keep anyone from claiming a seat, even if it was on the floor. After all these years, the plane hasn't added any luxuries.
Everybody had to sit on the frame of the airplane.
Not the most comfortable way to travel, but that's part of the experience.
I just appreciated the trip so much.
Actually, it was a lot of fun and a lot of memories.
It's a chance of a lifetime you get to being on this celebration.
And that's exactly what this was, a celebration of the greatest generation. And a very well-deserved celebration at that. This trip could not have been done without Rich Litoff and the folks with Evansville's Freedom Heritage Museum. A big thanks to them and to those veterans, especially Walter and Raymond, who spent time sharing their memories with me. Thank you for your time and for your service. Erin Meyer, 14 News.
And Aaron, thank you for that great story. Well, do you need a roommate to help share costs? Well, there's now an app to help you